Hello and welcome to Realexcel Epilepsy Portal. Today, I am here with Virginia. Virginia and I are both not feeling very well today. So, we will be streaming straight from the bedroom, from Virginia's bed. I am behind the camera, making sure everything is okay.
And doggies are making me feel better.
And today's live stream will be about what seizures feel like. The reason why I wanted to talk about this topic is because someone has shared an experience that they have had when they had a tonic-clonic seizure. They had a partial
Hi,
first.
Stacy.
Hi, Stacy. Nice seeing you. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Uh, the partial seizure developed into a tonic-clonic, and this person woke up completely disoriented on their floor. They were very, very scared as they were falling down, and it was a really, really traumatic experience for them. It made me remember how I used to find Virginia when when she had her tonic-clonic seizure was when I was still spending a lot of time outside of home, and then I would come back and find her, somewhere on the floor bleeding or something like that, and that was also a very traumatic experience for me as her caregiver. So it is an epilepsy awareness month in the US. So we wanted to talk about what seizures feel like for those of you who don't know about what different seizures feel like or what they may feel like to someone else. And Virginia had seizures for many years, so she can definitely share that with you. Now, Virginia, could you? I wrote down what a tonic-clonic seizure is. Not that you don't know. This is for those of you who are watching who don't know what they are, and so because of the Epilepsy Awareness Month, that's the reason why. Okay, what is?
One of the well-known seizures, the tonic-clonic seizure, also known as grand mal, is a convulsive seizure. So, the generalized or grand mal seizure is a disturbance in the functioning of both sides of the brain. Is a disturbance in the function. You want to put
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Partial seizures happen only in part of the brain. That's why they're called partial seizures. The tonic stage, which is the muscles stiffen, you lose consciousness, usually fall to the ground, most likely. Then, unless somebody catches you. And then the clonic stage, which is the rapid muscle contractions, which is the convulsions. And I'll fix that after. For 1 to 3 minutes, and there's foaming at the mouth.
So
the injuries are usually bitten tongue, and there could be other injuries. I've had injuries where I've broken my nose. I've had injuries where I've cut my chin multiple times at separate times. I've cut right under my eyebrow multiple times at separate times. I've broken things.
you have ours.
Okay, now I have to fix
Seizure Dog's performance on how to scratch your itch. Okay, so Virginia needs to fix anything that she sees that is not properly written.
Excuse you.
So, yes, for the injuries, this is a huge part where not just the injuries, but the part where people are
Hi,
really
Matthew.
severely. Hi, Matt. Nice seeing you with having you with us.
He put a sign like he
Ah, so sweet.
emoji.
Okay, so the injuries. And it's not just about the injuries. It's also about um, the part where the person, if they don't know what is happening, and it may happen even to those who have had seizures for a long time. Many times they could be so disoriented, or they don't know what is happening at all. So it is very important that you understand what the person who is having seizures is going through. So if you see someone like that in the supermarket, or you need to remove those treats, because this was a big mistake. I'm gonna put them away. Just
No,
keep
that's
them to
how I
me.
got her attention. That's how I got her on the
Yeah,
bed.
sorry about that. Virginia wanted to have the dogs there for support today, because she's not feeling well, and
And Zena's
she
undressing
said
me.
they're gonna make her feel better, which I am not totally sure about, because
Now, lay down.
she's
Lay
just
down.
trying to get her TREATS.
She looked at you. You forgot Zena knows how to spell.
Yeah.
Now lay down.
Okay. And then we're going to talk about, after the tonic-clonic seizures, what it feels like. We're going to talk about different types of seizures. Virginia has had experience with those. So, hands-on experience from Virginia herself.
Her first person experience.
Yes. So, there you go, honey. So, tell us about, I would say, anywhere from the beginning, where you can think of how it feels before, during, and after different types of tonic-clonic, because obviously you've had different types of tonic-clonic as well. Or were they all the same to you? You had some auras, some you didn't. So give us your
Okay.
story.
So, with the seizures that I did have auras, those ones were rare. Um, but the seizures with the auras, I would feel very, very dizzy, and like I didn't know what was going on. It's If you've ever drank too much alcohol, then it's like that. You can't think, or you can think, but it's hard to go through on the actions that you want to complete, to maybe even sit down. Maybe you have to walk a certain distance, like a few steps, to sit down, but your legs, it doesn't feel like they're even walking, it's like they're wobbling or something, like you're drunk in heels, in stilettos. Okay, that's what it feels like, or that's what it felt like to me. That's what my aura felt like to me. But with
Is it enough?
without the
I don't.
aura, I would pretty much just feel, it would just happen. Like I wouldn't feel anything. It would just happen, and then I'd be unconscious until I came out of the seizure. And then for both things, I would come out of the seizure. I would I would feel like I'm having a hangover, like a really bad one. And of course my head would hurt, and I'd feel nauseous, maybe like I wanted to puke. I don't know,
it depends each situation on how badly I felt like how nauseous I was. Um,
So a lot of nausea. I remember, I
yeah,
it
after the seizure, yeah.
very often the nausea was associated with that. So yeah.
And then it would take me like an hour to like be fully conscious, fully aware. But yeah, I just would be like, oh, what's going on? And I'd swear if somebody said, oh, you just had a seizure. I'd swear because I'd be like, oh, really again? Jeez, like why? Like seriously? Because it's inconvenient. That's how I feel like it is. I feel like it's inconvenient. I feel like I need to get things done, and the teachers are just like, oh man, another one. Jesus, I have stuff to get done. That's how I feel. Uh, the absent seizures. I just kind of, I don't know. I feel a little bit of a headache afterwards. I'm unconscious for I don't know, a few seconds. Uh, Sometimes it's been longer, but it's usually a few seconds. And the absent seizures is just a small headache afterwards. Um, it can actually depend on the weather as well because I've had absent seizures where the weather was really bad and I had a really bad headache after the seizure. But the absent seizures they just look like a person who is having an absent seizure just looks like they're daydreaming. That's what it looks like to everybody else.
Yeah,
Tonic absence is the same as absence, except
we're on. So I can go ahead, Virginia. So just repeat the last sentence what you're saying because I think we missed that on the
okay.
stream.
So I was going to say that um it's still buffering, right?
Nope, not on. Oh, unless. Oh, I think I am no connection. I am streaming on
Turn
my.
off
I'm
the
streaming on my data right now. Turn off what?
turn off the Wi-Fi for the data to actually be working.
It's working. Right now it's
Okay,
streaming
now
on
it's
my
working.
data.
Now it's working. Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah. So Nikki was saying I just had my first grand mal tonic-clonic 10 days ago. I have nocturnal and absent seizures. But I've never experienced something as scary, bloody, painful, and confusing as my tonic-clonic. Remember absolutely nothing. I was fine. Then I woke up in the ambulance hospital. Then I woke up thinking at the hospital, but I was home. I didn't recognize my family after. I was kicking at my family and pulling at my piercings, and my memory has been foggy for the past 10 days. I only remember bits and pieces. Praying for you. Thank you. Nikki also said I supposedly told the EMTs that I was going to vomit, but I don't remember anything. It was so scary.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say something about this because this happens to more people than you think. Okay, it happens often. It happens to a lot of people. The disorientation, the not knowing where they are. This must be like if I put myself in your shoes and I would wake up somewhere where I don't know where I was, it would be very, very scary. Okay, and I had a couple of times in my life where seizures, it lasts
on a
longer.
regular basis.
It lasts longer. Usually you feel very, very sick. Either to
Exhausted.
stomach, exhausted. You could have injuries. So things like that, when they happen, it is a very traumatic experience, and you really need your family members, your friends, the ones who know that you go through this, who can reassure you at that time, and to let your brain, your subconscious brain, know that you're okay, that you're safe. All right. So that's just a
That's why
tip
the
for
ducky's
people
here.
who are the caregivers. Yeah. So
Debbie's my caregiver.
yeah, Stacy was mentioning that we have
I can read it.
a video. Go ahead.
I want to read it.
Okay, Virginia wants to read it.
Okay, so
Hold on. Okay, yeah.
40 to 45 small 5-second ones in place of the generalized big clusters. Thanks for asking. That's what when you were asking how she was doing, and then she says, and then Nikki says, "Hello, you're welcome. Been watching the seizure videos to try to understand what happened to me. It helps, so thank you." And then Stacy says, "Nikki, try listening to the music. My daughter swears by it after one to feel like herself again." And then Nikki asked for a link to the music, and mommy's put the link to the music. And then Nikki says, "I know it was terrifying to me. I'm scared to be alone now."
Okay, so we will put the link at the end of the video where there's usually like suggested videos. We're gonna put a link to that video.
I want
It
to
looks like a
comment
green
on that.
tree. Okay, go
I
ahead.
want to comment on that.
Okay.
So Nikki said, I turned this off by accident. Nikki said that it was terrifying to them.
Yes, I want you to comment on that.
For me, it was terrifying the first time I had a seizure. But then, like, after the first couple times in going to the hospital, having everybody watching my every move, and like it just started to get irritating, annoying. Like everybody's watching me, watching my every move, like I'm a toddler, like they're babying me, like I'm a toddler that's trying to learn how to walk because I'm trying to learn how to get through life. But every time before I even fall down, you're there to jump in there and pick me up, and like the baby has to fall down to learn how not to walk.
Well,
because otherwise it's gonna fall down. But I'm saying, for me, it was so frustrating. I know it's helpful to have so many people, and you should have so many people there to support you, and people who know what you've gone through, because then it makes you feel like you're not so alone. But what I've heard from other people as well is they don't like the babying either. A lot of people. Like, I know some people that they enjoy it because they didn't really get much attention as a child, but that's like rare. But I know a lot of people, they just want to live their life. They want to feel like they're normal. And
so you're talking about the babying after the seizure?
no, just in general, like just people around you knowing that you have a seizure and then babying you. They're watching you like you're a baby that's just a newborn that can basically injure itself in any way.
Because that can basically happen.
Okay, but you're expecting it to injure itself, and that causes more stress, which leads to more seizures.
So you're talking about an overprotective mom, sister, just mentioning someone who is okay, so you are expecting them not to. Okay,
Nikki just said, I get that. My sister and parents have been bugging me daily multiple times, so I can imagine it bothers you terribly. Some people enjoy it just because they want attention of any kind.
yeah. So, Nikki, just going back on your note where you were saying that, there was some,
I know it's terrifying for the people who
yeah,
don't care.
when there is some violence associated with the seizure, it is very common as well. And I just wanted to talk about that because it happens to a lot of people. It may happen to you,
Are we
okay?
talking about trauma or
No, I'm talking about the person who is having a seizure. It can happen either before a seizure, okay, usually
if they get violence?
if they get violent, they could become violent before the seizure, okay, which has happened in our case in more than one occasion.
Yes.
It can happen during the seizure if it's not a tonic-clonic, because when the person is unconscious, they're not going to be violent. They're just having a tonic-clonic seizure. But it can also happen in a postictal state after a seizure. So, be very aware. Try not to restrain the person if they're trying to.
Yeah, because then they'll feel like they're the Hulk, and then they will.
Yeah,
It's not a good idea. So.
most of the time the brain is not. Well, first of all, the brain is not usually back to its full function, and you need to be aware that their thinking process may not be the same, will not be the same as yours.
For
Okay.
some people, it goes back to their primal instincts, back
Yes.
to
Yes.
animal instincts. Like, why is this person holding me down?
Anything can happen. So, yeah. So, we totally understand. A lot of people have different experiences. So, this is about the experiences. Like what you were talking, oh, after so many tonic-clonic seizures, it kind of felt like it was the same thing all the time. But there were other seizures that you had that you would after or during the seizure, or you would not know where you are. Do you remember that seizure?
Yes, I do cry out before tonic-clonic.
Yes.
I
So
yell. Will yell. Yeah.
it's a loud noise. So it if I hear it, like, as we have bedrooms close by for that reason, when I was getting the apartment, to be able to hear Virginia. And then we got the two doggies, which are wonderful seizure dogs.
Debbie, as soon as I start having the seizure, Debbie starts working on licking my face, and he actually pushes me. He tries to push me to my side, and I've noticed this because I've come out of seizures where I was completely alone, and he was there, holding me on my side, and licking my face so that I don't choke on my saliva from like foaming at the mouth and stuff. And then when my mom is here, Zena barks for my mom until she comes to the room, and then when she comes to the room, she starts working on my face.
Well, when you don't know if I'm not here if she's still barking, because she will be barking. She barks. This is a seizure dog
For help.
to call for help. Okay,
But
so
she's not trained.
neither one of them
She
have been
just-
trained.
It's their instincts that they do this.
And it's super cool that they took two different roles. Debbie's taking care of your saliva, and she's the one
And
alerting.
he's putting me on my side.
Yeah. So, Stacy said that my daughter craves independence also. There's a fine line between seizure precautions with the need for supervision and independence. And I totally agree, and I totally understand.
And I agree. I wish you would pay more attention to that sometimes.
Yes, but it is
And Matt
okay.
knows the feeling.
Okay, from a person who's watching over you point of view, if you are doing something that I think
But you're also my parent, so you're like especially
protective
precautious.
twice.
You're especially your mama bear. You're trying like you don't want anything to happen to me.
So, so Stacy, my question to you is, what do you do when you say, okay, there's a fine line and independence? So I let Virginia do some things, and others I will say, and I will try to find a way of saying this to her, because many times she's like already upset, she's already annoyed, you know, she could be having some anxiety and things going on or depression, and then it's very you need to be very subtle in saying things so they don't feel like they're being pushed. And I, you know, I've been learning to do that with Virginia, because I see, as she was saying, that you know, doesn't produce extra stress when you try to, or when you say things in a different when you share them in a different way, you know. And sometimes she just won't listen, like, I mean, doesn't matter what I say. So
Well, if I'm already in the mood of not listening, then that's why I won't listen.
the mood, I would really like you to talk about the mood, if you could, for a moment, from your perspective, on your moods, on how you feel, let's say when you want something, or how you feel before the seizure, you feel already so stressed out. Talk about stress, is a very big thing.
Well, the stress is stress. Anything can stress. It's very stress is frustrating, which is stressful. There's no other way to describe it, because you get stress and then you're more stressed because you have the stress and you don't want the stress. But like
So you get stressed somewhere.
yeah, you stress. It's a never ending cycle. You stress about one little tiny thing, and then you're stressing because, oh, why am I stressing about that? And then, oh, now this and this and this and this and this, and it builds up into a bigger stress ball that, you know, it was just a little thing in the first place.
Yeah.
And I know somebody who does that, who shouldn't be doing that. I'm not talking about you, Mom. Somebody who's watching the stream.
Oh, she knows somebody personally, okay.
Okay.
So yeah.
Wait, I want to read it out.
Okay, Nikki was talking
I
about
want
his.
to read it.
Okay.
Nikki says, my
Sorry.
mom is a boss right now, and she was freaking out. I got violent after because I didn't know anyone,
Boss
and I
RN,
messed.
registered nurse, honey. You missed that.
Oh, is a registered
RN
nurse?
is the registered nurse, yes.
Okay, but RN also means right now for. Anyway, registered nurse. Okay. I got violent after because I didn't know anyone, and I messed myself up during the seizure. Thank God my mom knew what to do.
So this is why it's very important, if you have someone at home who knows already about seizures, who have had experience, who knows what to do. This is a very, very, that's a huge plus in your life. And if they don't know, you know, try to get them to have a first aid course.
Yes.
Do at least two. Educate yourself in every way that you can, and that will help both of you to cope with the seizures.
Oh, and M4GX Marina said my wife has the cry, the noise, that it's scary.
Yes, so that is scary for, well, for you.
Well, I understand that it's scary. I've heard a recording of the sound that I make, and I I know it's scary because I sound like there's a demon coming out of me or something.
There is also,
Now I understand why people tell me I should get to
some people
exercise.
think that they need like an exorcist. So this is also you know, it's not a plus, but it is a warning. So if you live in a home where you close your doors, If your loved one lives behind the closed doors, that's not a good thing. If they have seizures, you should always leave the doors open. You know, that's kind of a tip of the day for today, for today's video. Leave the doors open. Like our doors are always open. That includes the bathroom, and you guys don't need to get
Yeah,
all
but that's
weird
why.
about it. But this is, we have, even in our apartment before, we have completely removed the bathroom door. We asked the management of the building to take the door off because Virginia had a seizure behind the door. There was no way of opening that door. So when I called the ambulance, I said I want firefighters, and make sure you bring the axe with you to break the door down, because the hinges were on the I can't remember how it was, but
The
there
door
was
opened towards the inside of the bathroom, and I was behind the door.
you were behind the door. So if you're completely blocking the door, they have to break it off on the top, Virginia.
Yeah.
So after she had that bad seizure, I completely removed the door. I mean, everything comes with, as kind of as you go. But if you can learn these things from someone else, and make sure that the door to your bathroom is always open, that there's no way that it can close itself. Like, I
And I
mean,
know it may be annoying sometimes that your pets may want to come and watch you while you're doing your business in the bathroom, because these two, they always do it. But maybe they're just watching over you, because I know Zena, she doesn't really like certain smells that come out of the bathroom, so she'll just lay down a few feet away in the hallway, and she'll just be watching me while I'm using the bathroom.
yeah, and that's a great thing, because
Make sure I'm okay.
if there's anything going on, like right now we have the dogs. Since we got the dogs, actually the second dog, which is the one that alerts me,
Zena.
like I have had a lot of less stress, because I know that when I go to sleep.
You have displaced stress. You have the stress that you had with about knowing, like not knowing when I was gonna have a seizure. Now you have stress about Zena acting crazy outside.
Oh, that's just when I take her out. That's okay. Because she goes crazy after other, because of other dogs. Okay. So I wanted to talk about. Nikki said, yeah. Okay. I'm really thankful for your videos, though. I learned so much, and I didn't feel so alone after watching. I do pray for you all, and then she says, yeah, my husky and my mom's Yorkie were both
Hi, Isabel.
in my face and licking me. My mom put them out so I wouldn't hurt them. Yeah, so the dogs are there to assist, okay? They already pretty much, most of the time, they know what to do. A lot of them have this knack for it, natural knack.
And Nikki also said, I learned a lot from you guys. I'm so thankful for you. You're very welcome. And yes, my dogs and my cat that thinks he's a dog. I've had a cat like that in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Follow me in there and sit beside me until I'm done pottying. And hello, Isabel. And yes, Debbie and Zena are amazing. Yes. Don't show your butts. This is not. This
And
is not a rap
M4GX
video.
Maureen is asking, how often do you have tonic-clonic?
Well, I don't know anymore.
Virginia's tonic-clonics have gone down significantly after she broke both of her legs and spent 2 months in the hospital.
I didn't break my legs. I broke my ankle on one, and I broke my toes on the other one.
Okay, well, you couldn't walk, so it's pretty much.
It's not breaking legs, because that would be much more damage.
Okay, so bones in her legs. So you were immobile for
feet in my feet.
Yes, you were immobile for a couple of months, and that was very hard on her. And
but I still healed quickly, and I managed. I was able to go swimming. I didn't miss the swimming of the summer,
So,
which I'm happy.
yeah, so when this happened,
And
Virginia was lucky enough to be in the hospital. While she was in the hospital, she had a wonderful neurologist who was
Yes.
fighting for her to tweak her meds in the way that Virginia is now, her seizures are significantly lower. And we are very thankful to that neurologist. We are very happy, and we got to do something for that neurologist because it's
bring
been
her a cake.
it's been 13 years, and
Everybody
Virginia has not been that good in 13 years. So we are very lucky. We are very happy.
And Isabel also says that and so are you and your mom. That we're amazing.
Aw, thank you,
Thank you,
Isabel. How you doing, girl? Nice seeing you. So yeah. Okay, Nikki, I learned a lot from you guys. Okay, I already did that.
I read that part.
Okay. All right.
So I'm going to describe what it feels like to have a tonic absence because I haven't described that yet. I described the absence, but not the tonic absence. So the tonic absence is essentially, it feels kind of the same, like headwise after the seizure, like you have
As an
like
absence seizure, because you have it is an absence seizure.
But for me, the tonic absence, because the muscles are tightening, it feels like my muscles hurt after. Like I did like high intensity training and with really really heavy weights that I can't even pick up, that I still trying to pick up anyway.
So you still don't know where
Like my
you like
muscles hurt.
what happened. Like you know that you lost your consciousness at the time. You are still thirsty because after absence seizures, Virginia is usually thirsty and she wants to drink water, and her muscles hurt. So after a first few tonic absence seizures, which I was not aware that they were happening at the same time, when she started telling me that her muscles were hurting, I started paying attention to that, and I'm thinking, well, why are her muscles hurting? And then one day we were in the car, and I tried to move her arm, and it was very, very stiff. And that's how I knew she was having a tonic absence. And I started reading on it. And seizures, you want to drink afterward. You don't want anything to drink or eat.
Well, the tonic-clonic is, I don't want anything to eat is because I feel nauseous, because my whole body was shaking. Imagine being on a really fast roller coaster going, and all it's going is loops.
Yeah.
All it's doing is loops. It's not even doing like a wave. It's just going in a loop, in a loop, in a loop. What it feels like after tonic-clonic for me, because that it just, the convulsions shake my body so much that I feel so nauseous. I don't even want to have anything. So Nikki says, thank God the neurologist and Virginia's improvement, and praise God.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you so much.
And Zita saying thank you too. She's wagging her tail.
She's happy for it too.
Yes.
She's a wonderful dog. When Virginia
even when she's crazy, she's so wonderful.
If Virginia like loses her balance, she'll come right.
If to see if we're okay.
Yeah, or I'm like bending down to like stretch and stuff, to stretch my back.
Zena checks your face.
Zena will suddenly be there to make sure that I'm alright, and she does the same for Virginia. Zena stops. Zena, have any treats?
No, I don't have any in.
Good girl.
Good girl.
Okay, lie down.
Put your butt down.
Lie down.
You can put your butt down. There you go. Come on. You can
Okay, let's go to eyelid myoclonia.
Okay. Well, it's.
You're not.
I'm not.
It's an absence seizure with flattering of the eyes. Okay, so when Virginia had that first time, it freaked me out. I'm serious, like, because I've been dealing with different types of seizures, with atonic, with tonic-clonic, and she had absent seizures already, tonic absent. But the island myoclonia was one that came probably in the last. And when I saw it, she started having it after she took some meds that she was prescribed that I asked her not to. And she started having that ever since. So, guys, if you are planning of changing medication, make sure
Be
that you know
informed.
the side effects.
Read all the side effects.
Make sure
Study
you
them.
know that too much of medication is not going to help you. It's going to make things worse. It's going to be very hard on the body. And if you already, if you're trying to tweak it, sometimes it's best to take less of something or remove something and then add something else. And that's what we did when Virginia was in the hospital. I talked to the second neuro where we were at the EMU, which there's also a couple of videos about EMU. You guys want to watch? You can just type EMU in our channel search, and you when that happened, I asked the neurologist there to bring the Keppra down because Virginia had like she's had a lot of like really bad attitude, a lot of bad attitude, and yeah, so that's another thing that we're gonna
Bad
actually talk about
attitude.
after we're done with the eyelid myoclonia because I'm not finished about it.
Excuse me, bad attitude, girl. That's
So-
putting it light. That's putting it the lightest. That's putting it like feather light.
A lot of people have the eyelid myoclonia, and it can happen to anyone. And there's also myoclonic seizures, myoclonic jerks that happen to people, and those happened to Virginia, which resulted in a really bad injuries. One of them was burns half of her body, from the
No,
leg.
from my leg down.
Yeah, from half of the body to leg down.
It was on my whole right leg and my left foot
And you couldn't walk either because we couldn't walk at that time.
because it was hurting.
Yes. And so Virginia was in the burn unit. They were thinking she was lucky that her burns weren't as severe.
That they were only second degree burns. They weren't third degree burns.
Yeah.
So I didn't need skin grafts or anything.
After she got burned, I put cold water on her right away. It was super scary experience.
But that
So-
that was a shock for me if you put cold water.
You wanted me to.
I know I wanted you to, but
Okay.
I found out that you're only supposed to put room temperature water because then it feels.
It wasn't super cold. We had no cold water. The only thing that comes first from the sink is a water that is not super cold.
room temperature.
It's a room temperature because it's in the pipes in the building. So
So when I was going in the ambulance after that, my one of my friends actually was there to visit my other friend, and Isabel, and he saw
Isabel
me.
was present. Yes.
No, Paul.
Oh,
was
Paul.
going to
Okay.
visit Isabel, and so he saw me going in the ambulance, and he came in the ambulance with me. He helped put the saline on my leg
Okay.
to
Which I had none. I had no saline at home, so that
it
may
felt
be
better.
something.
It definitely helped me to feel better.
That may be something that you guys want to have. If you have your box where you keep all your first aid stuff, saline should be one of those things that you should have, and replace it every few years, just to make sure it's fresh. Okay. The burns were very, very bad, and that happens, and a lot of other injuries happen, and happened to Virginia. Okay, so going back to my memories from years back where I was saying that I would come home and I would find Virginia many times injured. One of the injuries was I came home. She was. I found her on the bathroom floor with lots of blood everywhere, and so at that time she chipped her teeth, and she fell down on her face. Obviously outside of the bathtub, And it was super scary just to find, person whom you love in that, um to see them like that. It's a very emotional experience for you, for them. Like she was still, I just went to the store actually. At that time I just went to the store, I came back, and she decided to take a shower by herself, and which I told her not to. But she was a teenager, so she wasn't listening, obviously. And
And I had to take
and
my
yeah,
shower. You know what it was? I wanted to take a shower without being interrupted. Somebody coming in the bathrooms, and
to make sure that you're okay and to catch you if you're having a seizure.
yeah, but I wanted my privacy, and I wanted to have a shower without, having a conversation. I just wanted to enjoy the nice warm water of the shower. But then I was stressing while I was in the shower. I was just thinking, oh, what if she comes home? She's gonna give me crap for taking a shower when
You
she's not
remember
home.
that when you broke your teeth, when you chipped your teeth?
Yes, I remember that.
Okay. So you,
I always stress out when if I think about taking a shower when you're not home. I always stress out, oh, then she's gonna give me crap for taking a shower when nobody's home.
but you learn better.
Yeah, I learn better, so I don't take showers when
Many years,
you're not home.
many years later, Virginia has learned better. And
I learned from my mistakes.
yes, and a lot of mistakes, a lot of pain, and a lot of things happening. So this is really important, guys. Pay attention to this. Even though if you want your privacy, that's not the best. I mean, that's not the best thing for you sometimes. You may need someone to be watching over you, in those moments where you want some privacy, but you still, if you need them, you need to be open about it. You need to accept them in your life, and you need to accept their help because they're there for that reason, right?
Oh, so
Oh,
Isabel asked, the
yeah.
burn was quite awful because she saw the burn.
Okay.
So how can someone prevent such burns?
Don't
Well,
pour hot water when your mom is five steps away, and you ask your mom to do it for you.
but you were sleeping. You were like.
It doesn't matter. I told you to wake me up whenever you need stuff to wake me up. I'll make food for you.
But
So
it was the instant noodles. You didn't want me eating the
okay,
instant noodles.
Isabel. Okay, so Isabel lives by herself, but to prevent things like that, if you have a partner, a friend, anyone, and you have,
ask somebody else to pour hot
ask
stuff for you.
somebody to pour hot water to cook for you, because I have told Virginia, do not fry anything when I'm sleeping, do not fry anything when I'm not home. And she is allowed, I told her, well, she's allowed, she's an adult, but I told her, for your own safety, use the oven. If you need to warm up your food up, just use oven. And oven. Just use the oven, and that is a lot safer. Virginia almost burned our house in the past, because she decided.
I was trying to cook a turkey one time.
Right. Okay.
But I was fully conscious. That wasn't seizure related. I was fully conscious.
It was on my
thought-
birthday. I came back to home with black kitchen and stuff, and
Oh, you're talking about way back when I first.
when you first started having seizures,
Yeah.
like when you were.
I thought
like,
you were talking about the Thanksgiving when we were living in that bachelor garage. Bachelor.
Oh.
The turkey I made for Thanksgiving or something, and I was trying to make a turkey for you, and then I put vodka in the thing.
Oh my
to
God.
put it in the oven because I heard people cook with the alcohol
Oh.
to make it taste better, but I didn't know there was like such a thing as cooking wine.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, if
So
there is
don't
oven,
cook things if you don't know what it is.
do not ever put a grease fire out with water. Okay?
It'll just make the fire worse.
It will make the fire worse. So that's one point. Always ask
You have to cover it.
someone to deal with heat, with the fire, with anything that's hot. Ask them to
I
help
had
you
a
out.
neighbor that was a firefighter. That was actually a firefighter that
You
he
know,
helped.
do strive to order. If you by yourself, strive to order food out. Maybe
If you can
sometimes
order something healthy,
there are people who will cook in their home.
use baking soda when there's a kitchen fire. That's what Sophie said.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Sophie. Thank you so much for that. That is great.
Does that work for grease?
I would say probably does.
I hope so.
Okay. Well, we'll research it, and then when it comes to the burns, okay, there is a video already out. You guys, if you want to search for it, on our channel, we actually posted out Virginia's burns. Some of the pictures are there, so it is a little bit gruesome, and
Just imagine you're looking at
burns.
bacon,
Really?
cooked bacon.
This is not. I'm your mom. You can't look at it as cooked bacon. It's an open. It's a very traumatic experience. She went through the pain, and I went through the pain of seeing her like
okay,
that.
but I'm trying to make it a little lighthearted.
Well, they can go and look at the.
I burned my butt a little bit, so think of it as cooked bacon.
You guys can go watch the video. We're gonna see what happened. Okay, it was second degree burn, so it wasn't. She didn't need the graft. We're very lucky. I was at the burn unit with my friend to visit Virginia. We had to wear all the protective gear to make sure that there's like no infections and stuff. And then she was. I can't remember how long she was in there. A week or two. But
2 weeks, I think.
and then Virginia came home after, and she still had a hard time walking. And then, well, it took time to heal. Um, what's it called? Aloe vera plant. The inside of it. After she was already healed, mostly, we used the aloe vera plant to apply to the skin to heal the rest. So
and to prevent
scarring.
serious scarring.
So Virginia has no scarring.
Well, I do have scarring on my hip.
Okay, so you have scarring on your hip because that was the first contact.
That was the worst part.
That was the first contact. Yes. Yeah. And then the rest of the legs have no scarring, so aloe vera helped a lot with that. Okay, so going next to from myoclonia, that was the myoclonus that happened to Virginia. Okay, so any type of seizures that happen, you guys can have
myoclonic jerks. That's what happened when I got the burn. That was the myoclonic jerk.
Yeah.
So myoclonic jerk. That's how it feels. It feels the feeling I get. I don't really have headaches when I have those. But exactly, Zena. I feel frustrated. Because it's like I have stuff to do. I want to be able to hold things without dropping them.
No.
So they're very frustrating.
Come here.
So the myoclonic jerks are very frustrating.
Sit down, Mama.
But that's all I can really tell you. It's just a jerk
Stop.
of limbs. Zena, behave yourself. You're a good girl.
She wants attention as well.
Okay, come here.
Didn't you bring some, some yummies for her?
Shh. Lay down.
Okay,
I said
no tocar guitarra.
There you go.
Okay, give her yummy.
I'm giving her belly rub. I'm giving her a yummy belly rub.
So, preventing, going back to the preventing burns, prevent someone if I removed all the knives, like at some point I removed all the knives.
Any knives at all. She wants me
I left around.
You mean the
the butter knives
The butter
that don't
knives.
have any.
They have little teeth.
No, you wanted me to use the ones that don't have any teeth. You said don't even use the ones with teeth.
Okay, so this is for safety measures.
How am I supposed to cut with those?
That goes for anybody, even absent seizure. If somebody's starting to cut stuff, and they start having absent seizure, that it is dangerous. So I removed the knife.
Well, I mean, they could cut their finger off if they're out of it.
I removed all the glass from the house, from home.
Yeah,
We had glass tables. We had a lot of crystal. I got rid of everything.
Okay, I want to say something.
Yes.
Okay, so what it feels like to me, the fact that you got rid of so much and you only want me drinking from like plastic cups and you want me eating from plastic plates, it makes me feel like I'm a toddler and you want me to have a sippy cup and you want me to be in a high chair and that you want to feed me like I'm a baby again. And I know you're my mommy. Zina, you need to lie down.
Yeah, Zina, you're in front of it. Come here, girl.
Here you go. So
but you can't even see your face, honey.
And that you want to baby me.
I think, are you like stressed out a little bit? Because she's right there on top of you.
I put her on top of me.
Oh, okay. So, yes, I'm sorry, honey. This is for safety measure.
I know this is for safety
Glass
measure,
has.
But I'm telling you how I felt.
Glass has broken in the past.
Yes.
You have broken glass.
Felt, Mama, I hurt myself on plastic. Do you remember when we were moving the plastic boxes?
Yes.
I scratched my
understand.
arm on the because I fell on the plastic box.
I understand.
On the corner.
Plastic is not as sharp as glass. When glass breaks, it can be lethal.
Yes,
it needs to be addressed in the proper way. So removing the furniture that has glass, if you have seizures where somebody falls down and they can break the glass, this is a safety measure. And I'm pretty sure any of you who have had a little bit of experience here, you know that. So I am sorry that you feel that you babied, honey. But okay, so being mindful, I'm pretty sure that you know that this is not so I can baby you.
I know, but you're also my mommy, so you want me to be your baby forever, also.
I say that just in moments to make you feel like I love you, that you're my baby.
Because you always love me.
You're always gonna be my baby. You're my big baby.
Daddy's my big baby.
You're my big girl now. There you go.
He's that big kid now.
And so practice mindfulness from the point of view of a caregiver, from the point of view of the person who has epilepsy, to understand that those things are not there to prevent you from having a good life. They're there to help you prevent injuries, and it's for that reason only. It's because somebody loves you and they do those things for you, right?
Yes.
So you understand that part?
Yes.
Okay.
So the atonic seizures, the drop seizures that I've been having.
Yes. Talk about that. How does that feel?
That is also annoying. It's like the myoclonic jerks, because the ones that I started off with, all the ones that I had, except for the ones that I broke stuff, I always fell right on my butt, and my butt is a big cushion, so I wasn't having any injuries. I could just get up and continue to do what I was doing. But this one day, my body decided it didn't want to fall on my butt. It decided that it wanted to fall on my side. And then my ankle broke. And then I had to have surgery.
And then when I was recovering from surgery, I had another one at home that I broke the toes on my other foot. And then I couldn't walk. And then the doctor, the good doctor that fixed the little mix of the medications, she's the one that got me to the EMU. And now I have a beautiful and wonderful partner that is wonderful.
Okay.
But and I'm also having less seizures because they help me and they actually saw, and I learned that I have the sleep seizures too.
Yeah, so Virginia has nocturnal seizures.
We didn't know
Isabel
that before.
Isabel was do you want to read
Yes,
her
I
notes,
read.
because Isabel was saying, and then we're gonna go back to the atonic seizures where you fell on your face. So I'm gonna talk
Okay,
about that.
so
Okay.
Isabel said jerks are annoying, both types. So she's talking about guys too. And more,
I didn't get that one until you actually said that.
yeah, I know you didn't get it. So it's a good thing
Okay.
I said it.
Okay.
So more seriously though, they come and go when unexpected. I dropped my phone so many times because of those. Oh my god, yes. That is so frustrating. You just drop things. Like I drop food so many times, I just get so, especially with food, I get so upset. I'm just like, you know what? I don't care. I'm eating it anyway. But yeah, and yes, very dangerous. Those ones are very dangerous when cooking. That's the one that I had. Is the myoclonic just is when I had the burn. Is because I dropped um um the kettle on the floor, and the water just spurted up. It landed on the bottom of the kettle on the floor. It landed perfectly fine, but the water went poof, and it went all over my leg.
Yeah, and yes, it is very dangerous when cooking. So yes, to prevent it is to ask anyone to help you. If you live by yourself, try to avoid it by, let's say, buying like a coffee or a tea outside. I know we can't prevent it, all the time, but try to find the
Or have
ways
a friend
of
that
going around
likes
it.
to make tea for you.
Yeah, have a friend to visit you.
Debbie, do you know how to make tea?
Invite them for the tea. You will provide the tea,
Debbie's
and they will come and make it for you. And then you're gonna have a social visit. You're gonna have lots of fun. Gonna have a few laughs, and then you're gonna enjoy the tea. And
And
then
Zina's enjoying the cheese.
and you're safe at the same time.
Zina's enjoying the cheese right now.
Okay, so the only way that my mom described my absence seizure is maybe when I was writing, I would drop the pencil, but my seizures lasted 1 second. So yeah, there are some seizures that can last longer than a few seconds. So this, even with absence seizures, they can be dangerous depending on where you are, what you're doing. So and then you also had clusters, from what I know, Sophie. So uh, in a cluster of seizures, obviously you're not there for longer than 1 second. So any type of seizure can be dangerous, when that happens. Oh, I would like to ask you, and I think I did in the past. Can Sophie, do you have do you want to drink water after your absence seizures? Because Virginia always wants to drink water. So she did want to drink water with her tonic absence and with her eyelid myoclonia, so which she was also absent. She had absence with that, and while in her atonic, you didn't really talk about how you actually feel in the atonic. Well, I just wanted to say that one of your atonic, more than one, you fell on your face. So, which you didn't talk about that, but just talk about how you feel in the atonic seizure.
Well, atonic seizure, it feels kind of like, I don't really feel like a seizure
It doesn't feel like the convulsive seizure thing. Your
Because
head
it
is
isn't.
because I'm saying like it for me because it's just atonic. It's not like absence or anything. It's it just affects the muscles. Like okay, sure, like my muscles feel weird and I feel like
They go like,
they go limp, yeah. But like I don't have any really like sometimes my head will hurt, but that's from having a headache from beforehand. And but sometimes my head won't hurt at all. And like, it doesn't really affect how my head feels. It's
so the
just
worst thing only in that point would be if you had any injury when you fall down.
yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you forgot that Sophie was saying that she
It would still be talking, and she tends to repeat the sentence
okay,
several
but
times.
she also said that she would be running or walking and have an absence and forget where she was going if she was running and then she would fall.
And yes, with the absence seizure, yeah, I would really like you to talk about this because remember when Michelle was here, she was saying how you were gonna eat the burrito, and then she was making a joke how you're gonna eat it with your eyes because she didn't know that you were having an absence seizure. So yes, a person could be walking, they could be going
It
somewhere,
could be doing anything.
they could be doing anything. So with absence seizures, you also have to be careful. And yeah, and we're gonna wait for if you can answer that question. After an absence seizure or my flurries, I get a feeling of my heart dropping from my chest and a sense of dread. Oh, do you have that
A sense of dread.
after your absence seizures? Because and
I
then
have that after every type of seizure.
oh,
Because I don't like having seizures. I don't want them. They can go bye-bye.
well,
I
I'm
don't
sure
like-
nobody likes having seizures, honey.
I know if people are getting extra attention and they really want attention,
No.
they'll cover your booty, girl.
And yeah, so
She's sneaky. She's a sneaky girl.
yeah, so
Yes,
about
Nikki,
your
I like
absence
it.
seizures. So you were gonna say about your absence seizures when how you were doing some things while you were having absence seizures. Like how did that feel? Because you would tell me how I have moved. The only way that you knew that I had absence seizures if I moved. I was in one part of the room and then I moved. Suddenly I was in a different part or I was close to you looking at you.
Staring at me like this.
Just
Are
making
you
sure.
okay?
Okay.
It's really creepy, by the way. Please do not do
I
that.
will not do that, but I have learned. Okay. So everything comes with experience. This is a tip for caregivers. Don't be in somebody's right in their face because it's scary for them. Because they weren't there for the moment, and so they kind of wake up and they don't know what's going on. So yeah.
So going like this is gonna scare them. It's like the Silence of the Lambs, okay? Don't
Really
think
compared it to that.
yes, I compared it to that. Or the Shawshank Redemption or whatever. Or what's that one with the hotel? The guy that's like, here's Johnny. That's what it's like. Yeah, that's what
Okay.
it feels like.
Okay, it is about your feelings with seizures. So yes, obviously, I have stopped doing that.
Because you have learned to be more aware of how I feel.
Yes, and so the learning goes both ways. It goes for the caregiver and goes for the person who has the epilepsy. All right. So
Isabel said about the sense of dread.
yeah, you have that too. Oh.
No, she's the one that said the sense of dread. Oh,
No, that
she
was
said that
Sophie. That was Sophie.
Isabel, she says, I get the sense of dread, heart dropping, and disorientation. Can't remember who I am or where I am. And then Stacy says, my daughter's always afraid she's done something wrong. And Sophie says, when I have an absence, my pupils will go from normal to pinpoint. This is the only physical sign.
Yeah, and so thank you for sharing that. Oh, Stacy says, I have learned to always have a smile on my face. Oh, and positive attitude emotions when she comes out so she doesn't feel that way. That is super cool, and I will definitely be applying it to every single time from now on for Virginia. Thank you, Stacy. Uh, this is very important for them to feel safe and to feel like everything is okay. So thank you. We learn from each other, and that is the whole point of
Okay,
it.
can I show you something? See, Zena's worried about me even when I do this.
Isn't she cute?
Wait for it, wait for it.
Where's Mama? Where's Mama? Where's Mama? Where's she? Where's Mama?
Where's Zena?
Where's Mama? Ah.
She says, don't cover yourself because then I
I
can't
can't
watch you.
see you, see? I need to see it too to make sure that you're okay. Yeah, so there are other types of seizures that Virginia
Now she's
had, that I just wanted to cover it. And Virginia can talk about that experience from her point of view. Um, she had, we also have a video on that. She had three different seizures at the same time. I think she had the one where she fell down. So she had an atonic. She
Dot
lost.
seizure is also what it's called.
She lost her. She didn't know who I was. She didn't know who I was.
So I lost my consciousness as my
No, you were not. No, you were talking to me. You were talking to me, but you were scared. You were looking at me. You told me later on that you didn't know who I was. You didn't recognize the apartment. So you told me that you felt like that you remembered your where you lived like 10 years before that. So the new surroundings, your brain was not like here. Like this was not your home. And you were scared because you didn't know who I was, and I looked completely different. And I asked you who I am, and you said, "No, I don't know." And we actually have a video of that, so you guys can go and watch it. Um, um, that was very scary for well, must have been very scary for you.
Because it scared me, and I wasn't freaking out so much because I remembered that you looked familiar, but I didn't know who you were.
Yeah. And then I can't remember if I said that to your mama. I think I did, just to like put you at ease. But this is what you do when a person has a seizure. You reassure them that everything is okay, that they're safe, that they're home, and you ask them questions to see if they're how they feeling. Okay, like to see how they feeling, if anything hurts, and if they know if like this other consciousness, so if they know what day of the week it is and stuff like that. So talk about a little bit about that other seizure that you had two other seizures. I think it was with the myoclonus, where you had one of them was where you lost your sight and the other one was where you lost your audio. So
You mean my ability to talk?
oh, your ability to talk, yes. So
My
talk
audio?
about those. How was that scary for you? Because that must have been
Yes, that was
super
scary.
scary.
So, I lost my sight. I wasn't able to see things. I thought it was, I realized it must have affected some part of my brain where sight is controlled.
And I was
So-
actually recording at that time, so there's a video of that, guys. You can go and watch it.
So, yeah, and then
So you were talking,
I
you could
felt
think,
like
right?
I could think, but like thinking was slow as well. It felt slow. But
Because I remember you saying, yeah, I know, like I'm at home. I think you said that. And so Virginia was lucid, but she couldn't see.
yeah.
And yeah, that scared her, that scared me, and
And
then
it scared me, especially because I thought I wouldn't be able to see for the rest of my life. And that's because I was thinking of all the yummy food that I wouldn't be able to see the beautifulness of.
okay.
And this beautiful puppy's over here.
Yeah.
This 5-year-old puppy right here that's lying next to me. I wouldn't be able to see his beautiful, handsome little boy face anymore. And that would make me very sad. I get to feel him fluffy because he's so fluffy. Oh, he's such a good boy.
Okay, Virginia, do you want to? Sophie said, and when I record myself, I don't even realize my eyes do this until I look at the video. Oh, what did
So he said, okay, of course, if you ask me, I'd say I'm fine. Oh, Isabel says this exactly happens to me. Can't remember who others are, who I am, where I am. Spatial orientation and notion of self goes out the window. Scary, I need to go somewhere calm to get better. So you feel like you so you feel like you don't understand your surroundings because you think you still live in Hearst.
So yeah, your mind goes back like a few years
It
back to
it
where you were.
regresses.
It
Yeah.
regresses because you have a memory of that, which is embedded in your cells.
Yeah.
Okay, but because your conscious is not working at that time,
Consciousness.
consciousness is not full at
You
that
don't
time.
have full consciousness.
That's why you only have the memory from the past. Yeah, and I understand it can be very scary. It is difficult. Okay, Stacy, it is difficult to have a positive attitude when our loved ones have all these injuries before they come back from the seizures, but we do what we gotta do for them. Yes. Thank you,
And the
Stacy.
music in the portal helps. You're welcome.
Thank you, and thank you for that. I am so glad it does. I created that video myself, and I'm very happy that it helps your daughter, and it helps others as well. Um, is Sophie was talking about her pupils
Pin.
will go from normal to pinpoint, and this is the only physical sign when she's recording, so she knows that she has the seizure. When she's recording, that's when she has the seizures. Now Virginia's pupils will dilate a lot, and I wanted to say that because there was someone who was talking about dilated pupils, that they're going through some things, and that they had this going on for the past 3 days. If your pupils are dilated, you're having a huge headache, and your pupils are not going back, if you put the light, like put the flashlight, that the doctors will do that in the hospital anyway, or ER.
They're checking your reflexes.
They're checking your reflexes. If your pupils will constrict when they put the light and the flashlight in, that means that your brain is functioning properly. Okay.
But if they don't,
if it
then
doesn't,
something's wrong.
you immediately must go to ER, and you must have a CT scan right away, and you must be checked by a proper neurologist. Okay, because this could be a very serious matter, and it has to be addressed right away if that happens. Positive attitude. Uh, yes, it is hard to have positive attitude, and with Virginia's, because Virginia doesn't have auras, and we never knew when she was gonna have a tonic-clonic seizure, or when she is gonna about to have tonic-clonic seizure. She only had a few auras in her lifetime, and all the other times she never had them, so she would just drop down. It is hard. Okay, so I focus on making sure that she's okay, that she's not first of all, if I'm there to catch her, so that's why many times I would be with her in the bathroom. We actually got her PSW to helping her with the baths and stuff like that, and change her way of taking the baths, sitting down on the mat in the bathtub and using an extended shower head, okay, to take the baths. So, things are, you adapt to what, what's important. And I'm sure Virginia didn't want to do that for many years because she wanted to feel like she can
Normal.
be independent and that she can do everything that she wants to do. When you have something going on with your health, adjust it accordingly. Adjust your life to the way that it is going to make your life better and not worse, okay? And then prevent injuries at the same time, okay? I must get going. So this is Isabel. Oh, so
I must get going, but keep up the good work and all the best, V and Elena. You are beautiful inside and out. Big hugs to Debbie and Zina. Keep smiling.
thank you for being with us, Isabel.
Thank
It was
you.
great
I miss
to
you.
hear from you again. I hope you are going to be on the next Epilepsy Toronto group.
Well, I already missed that one for this month.
Okay, so Virginia missed, she was not feeling well. So this is something that you would probably want to talk about with when it says talk about seizures and how you feel, and that you get to discuss those things when you go to the groups, right?
Yeah.
When you talk in a group, which is your age group, people are the same age in your group, you made friends, and these are people who go through the same things. Don't disagree with me. Say your experience. This is about your experience.
We talk about what we experience, our struggles in our lives, and that's pretty much it. And we talk about we like suggest to others if like something worked for us, and then somebody's talking about something that we went through that we helped ourselves, then we suggest it to the other person who's dealing with that.
So learning from experience.
Yeah, learning from we learn
Other
from each other as well.
From each other, from other people's experience. Yes.
Mm.
Okay, so we have covered pretty much all of the seizures that Virginia.
You didn't get it. You didn't get the joke. We have covered.
There was a joke. What?
You said we have covered, so it.
We have covered. Zina, I didn't notice. Okay, lay down, honey. Come
Lay
on.
down.
Come on, lie down, Mama.
Lena, it's
Good
okay.
girl,
You're not
come
in
here.
trouble. She thinks she's in trouble.
You're not in trouble, my
She's trying
sweetie.
to
Oh,
apologize
you
to
look
you.
so sad. And she's trying to make up for it. She's wagging her tail. She's such a good dog. I love her so much. And so Zina is my dog, and she's my
And she's
furry
my
child,
dog, too.
and Debbie is Virginia's
My
furry
furry
child.
child.
No, you can't. Okay, so do you guys have any other questions? I hope I didn't miss anything.
I have a question.
Mhm.
When do we get to sleep?
Oh, I think there's there is a question, Sophie.
I have a question.
Sophie was saying, night. That's the normal thing. Oh, right, that's the normal thing, and it is citing that the person is not conscious. I lost the thought over there. Let me see if I can see the. Um,
Excuse me, Zina. What do you think you're doing, Missy?
okay, I lost the thought. Sophie was saying that
Something
she was talking about her pupils being
dilated.
but no,
Pinpoint?
her pupils they go
Pinpoint.
really small.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, when she has her seizures.
Her absence.
Her absence seizures, yes. Okay, so okay. Isabel has left. Isabel is Virginia's friend, and she met her. Virginia, are you going to sleep? Okay, we're gonna say good night because let's just check
See, look,
Sophie.
Debbie's already tired. She understands how I feel.
Okay, So, hugs and kisses from Isabel. And Sophie says, my triggers are flashing lights, strobe lights. Anybody could probably have triggers from strobe lights. LED lights, fluorescent. Yes, fluorescent lights are
LED lights,
huge.
not LED.
Okay.
It's LED lights.
LED lights, fluorescent. We have lived in places where usually they're cheap places where people fluorescent lights because they're cheaper. And Virginia had a lot of seizures in those places. So
yeah, because
I
those
strongly
lights
I
are
strongly
not nice.
suggest if you guys live where you have fluorescent lights, if you can change your lighting, change
Then
it
do
to the regular light bulbs, the regular either white or the yellow lights where they are normal lights.
Soft light.
Soft lights. Okay. And the transition from the outdoors to inside classroom. So Virginia has special glasses.
I have transition lenses.
She has transition lenses to help her deal with
But
the
they're
sign.
wearing out because, well,
These are
time.
okay. So Virginia wants to see if she can get eye surgery instead of wearing glasses.
So if you'd like to donate to our funding of eye surgery, thank you very much. I
Okay,
would
yeah,
appreciate
there is a link below the video. It's our to our PayPal. If you guys would like to donate, you're very welcome to do so. It will help Virginia to get her
And I don't
eyesight
have to look at
fixed.
the world through scratch glasses anymore.
Yeah, the glasses have been an issue a lot of times because her
they
eyes
always
get
get
scratched. She gets injuries from them.
The glasses get
And
scratched.
and
I
the
get
glasses get scratched and
I've
damaged.
broken my nose before from my glasses.
So getting too hot illness and recently sleep deprivation. Yes.
Sleep deprivation.
Sleep deprivation is definitely a huge issue.
Hint, hint.
No, you're not sleeping yet, and don't. She's not getting comfortable. She's adjusting herself. Oh yeah, that feels good. Then. Okay. You know that you can show any of the video I have sent.
Okay, if I fall asleep tonight, I love you.
Okay. Yes, Sophie. Thank you. I will need for you to sign the consent. YouTube is being really strict. But yeah, I will send you the paperwork. Right now, we don't have both of our laptops broke. I have restored Virginia's laptop to somewhat working condition, and
And I'm working on
she's able to do some things, but
editing videos.
right now we don't have a laptop, so hoping to get a laptop soon, and when we do, then I'll be able to be back to our regular regular posting.
Programming.
And
You didn't get the joke.
regular scheduled programming, yes.
Yeah, like TV.
Yes, well, we are kind of a TV.
You didn't get the joke. That's what they say when they have like news. They have like emergency news or something on TV, and then okay, now back to your regular scheduled programming.
Oh, Sophie says that the bus has fluorescent lights.
Yes, and that's why I don't look at the lights.
Yes, the buses are really annoying with the fluorescent lights.
I look at the floor.
Yes, and
Or even at
they're
my
very
lap.
annoying to me. Okay.
Yeah, but you're sensitive with everything.
No, I've grown sensitive over the years with the.
But that's.
What happened?
I don't know.
Oh, Virginia, you deleted a whole bunch of messages. What
No,
happened?
I did not.
Yes,
No.
your dog did. Zena just deleted a whole bunch of. Oh,
What?
she deleted all of the messages from everybody.
Zena.
Okay, can you? Okay, so I'm gonna try to stay on the. Now we have.
Wait. That's the
Can you undo it?
It's telling me if you.
Zina, lie down. Lie down. You're not in trouble. Okay. Can you
Okay,
undo
I
it,
can read
please?
them. I can read them.
No,
I'm,
you need to undo it.
I'm trying to do it, okay? Okay, so this says my triggers are flashing. She was talking about the triggers. She says, you know that you can show any of the video.
No, I need you to undelete the messages.
I'm trying.
I can't undelete them.
Unhide user on this channel. There you go.
Did you?
Let me. Zena, you bad girl. She deleted the messages.
No, you need to undo this.
I can't undo it. I deleted them. Well, Zena deleted the messages. You naughty girl.
No, this is supposed to be for our information and for other people who come on this.
She says that she can see all the messages.
No, but it says I cannot.
I didn't do that on purpose. It's not letting me. It's not letting me undelete it.
Virginia, you have to do something. Top chat. Let me see.
It doesn't let me.
No, it says.
Oh, you know what? What happened? It wasn't that I deleted the messages.
No, it says yeah.
It's that Zena pressed the button that hid her on the channel.
That hit who? Sophie?
Yes.
Okay, can you undo it, please?
I did it. I fixed it.
Okay, let me see if I can.
Okay. And
It says all messages. It still says view visible message.
What is it?
You need to undo all of them because there's yeah, these are all from Sophie. Zena, you bad girl. That's why I didn't want her on the bed, honey. Because Debbie lays down, but she walks around because she likes to be active.
Well, Debbie's a good boy. As soon as I I say view deleted message, it's
Undo the delete.
I
thing.
can't. It doesn't give me an option to.
No, it
It
says
says the actions. I press on the chat, the message, and the actions it gives me is go to channel, report, remove, put user in timeout, hide user on this channel. Okay?
what about unhide?
I already unhid her. That's why you can see new messages from her.
The new message. What about the other ones?
The other ones I can't undo it. That's what I'm telling you. It's not letting me undo it because Zena hid the messages and Zena needs to be in a timeout.
Yes, yes, Sophie, but Zena pressed a button on Virginia's phone when she went to the side, that's why you're not supposed to go to sleep while you're on the live stream, okay? Because it's called a live stream.
It's your fault that you want me to be the
So,
moderator.
yeah, my apology for that. And yes, people can see the messages after the live stream. It's saved, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to see them still. Okay. It says a view. Yeah. Okay. So can you see all of them now?
It says view deleted message.
Yeah. Sophie, can you see your messages?
She can see her messages. I don't know if somebody else can see the messages.
Okay. All right. Well, ask Matt. Is Matt still there?
Matt says he may be getting ready to go to bed soon.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're getting ready to go to bed too. So, Yeah, thank you for being with us today, everyone. Virginia, we did it from the bedroom because Virginia has not been feeling well, neither have I.
And I'm
Um,
tired.
and so we are done with today's live stream. Remember that our Friday nights are the seizure talks nights, and we talk about seizures every way we can. If you
Did we
have
cover it all?
suggestions, yes, we did. If you have suggestions about any topics that you'd like to talk about on the next seizure talks, let us know. Uh,
Where was that?
Virginia, why don't you say thank you for being
Thank you,
with us?
beautiful people.
Thank you, everyone. And
I
Sophie,
love you.
okay, so Sophie says I have been talking about the bus from college, and the bus has fluorescent lights. Oh yeah, well I remember that, and that is very bad for anyone. It's not just for people who have epilepsy. Those fluorescent lights are very bright, even for me. Too much for me to handle. Okay, so thank you for being with us, everyone.
Thank you. Debbie says
As always, anything that we're going to be posting, remember we have a community tab now, and subscribe to our channel if you are interested in
Debbie
watching
says
the
bye
videos.
bye.
Share them on your social media, so Facebook, anything else that you watch and stuff. And as always, lots of love to all of you, and see you
You know
next.
you said last always.
Because I was gonna say lots of love, and then I said as always because I forgot. This is my
Always. That is mommy's phrase from now on.
no, as always. Okay. Mwah, everybody.
Mwah.
Virginia send kisses.
Mwah.
Zena,
Debbie sending kisses. Mwah.
Zena, you've deleted stuff, so you're not sending kisses. Okay.
She's apologizing.
Oh,
She's wagging her tail.
Aw.
She says maybe if I'm cute enough.
I love you too.
They'll
Okay.
forgive
All right.
me.
Bye, guys. Mwah.
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 Mwah.